Hello everyone, welcome back to all of you in the Smelly Army. So unfortunately recently we've seen some of the other YouTube reviewers making videos about Jeremy Fragrance and just using his name to get more views for their video, and then making generally quite critical videos about Jeremy, which I think is a bit sad. It's not what the fragrance reviewing game should be all about. So rest assured, on my channel I'll be focused on what I'm doing and I won't be worrying about Jeremy Fragrance or cynically using his name just to get views on my channel. Alright, how's that? Okay? Yeah, good. Just out of interest, roughly how many more views does the average person get if they put Jeremy's name in the video title? How many? Hello, welcome back to all of you in the Smelly Army. So today we are going to talk a bit about Jeremy Fragrance's upcoming release, and of course putting his name in the video title might get the video a few extra views, and you know, we are on YouTube and I do like to get as many views as possible for my videos, so I don't think there's anything too wrong with that, and I will give you my opinion on what I think about the whole Jeremy Fragrance fragrance release phenomenon, because he's bringing out his own fragrance which is going to be called The Office. Correction, the fragrance is actually called Office for Men, and his brand is called Fragrance One. We've got the notes for the fragrance. Apparently someone's kind of leaked them, because apparently he's told them to the people who've pledged, so take this with a pinch of salt. Thanks for the person who posted them in a comment on one of my recent videos, but I'll also tell you a bit about the whole project then. So he's doing it on Kickstarter. And that means that you have to get people to pledge money. He had an amount of money that he needed to raise in order for the project to go ahead and the fragrance to be made, and he's absolutely smashed through it. Last time I checked, he was up at £664,000 pledged, and there were 5,619 people who've pledged. So it's been a fantastic success in the preliminary stage of getting the backers, and it's clearly going to go ahead. He's talked about the packaging, that kind of thing, and finally we seem to have a note listing, but it's unofficial. Now it's time for the traditional Mr. Smelly disclaimer. These are the notes that somebody is saying they think have been listed by Jeremy. It may or may not be true. This is only speculation. And so apparently his people who've pledged have been told that the top notes are going to be bergamot, ambroxan and iris. In the mid, apparently it's going to be pink pepper, and then there seems to be some confusion. It's cachalox stroke cachalot. Maybe he only spoke the words and someone's not really heard what he said. I think it was a video. And then something called paradisone. After some research by the Mr. Smelly team, it seems he may have said cetalox, which is similar to ambroxan, and paradisone, which is kind of like hedione on steroids, apparently. Okay, in the base, apparently musk patchouli and intense modern wood, whatever that means. So the note listing never tells you that much. It sounds like it's going to be a freshie. I think he said as much. Pink pepper, bergamot, ambroxan, very typical notes in modern fragrances, and musk patchouli, intense modern wood in the base. There's nothing there that really gives us a massive clue, but it's clearly going to be a fresh, crowd-pleasing scent and a masterpiece already, according to the ever-modest Jeremy Fragrance. The price for this one, if you pre-order, as he's encouraging you to do on Kickstarter, is €125 for a 100ml bottle, and he says that it's going to be 160 retail when it comes out. Now, I think, I'm completely neutral on this. I think Jeremy Fragrance is a completely great YouTube personality. Certainly used to be a fragrance reviewer. He's more of a fragrance phenomenon now, but he does still do reviews. And I've got absolutely nothing against his way of doing it. It's very populist. He's very professional. His videos are very, very well presented. I think he does actually know an awful lot about fragrances. When you've seen him talk about notes and things, he knows his stuff. So I've always looked up to him in terms of his success on his channel. When I started getting into fragrances, before I started my own channel, I watched Jeremy a lot. His channel has changed a bit. It's interesting, he's taken down a lot of old videos and he's really tried to trim his channel to what he actually wants to put out there as his public YouTube profile nowadays, and there were some longer, older videos. I think the classic La Nuit de l'Homme video from years ago, where he said how great that was, that's gone. The Green Irish Tweed video from his early days, a lot of the longer, older reviews have gone. So it's a bit of a shame, because it's nice to have all the old material from a YouTube channel to look back on how it's evolved. But he's very, very wary and wants his public media image to be just so, it seemed. It's very much almost stage managed. He wants you only to see what he's doing now, or what fits in with how he is now, and if there are old things on his channel that he perhaps feels are slightly embarrassing or don't fit in with his current plan of action, they seem to be got rid of. However, I think that, I'm basically neutral, or probably a little bit pro Jeremy Fragrance, because I don't get all the anger and hatred that some people direct towards him. I think, he's good for the fragrance community in general. He raises the profile of the fragrance community as a whole, and for all of us aspiring YouTubers who want to have success with our channels, he raises the profile of YouTube fragrance reviewing in general. If any of us get sent stuff free for review, collaborate with brands, that's partly because Jeremy Fragrance has paved the way for them to see that fragrance on YouTube is big. So I'm, fine with Jeremy Fragrance. Good luck to him. I'm sure his fragrance will be a good success. But into the other little subject for today's video. He's not right to say the only fragrance you should wear in the office will be the one he's releasing, and I just thought I'd give you some modern fragrances which would be great bets for the office. So I've done some office or workwear videos before, sometimes reflecting my own choices and tastes, which can lean a little retro sometimes. So I've gone for really modern smelling releases that I think would be great ones for the office, and may cost a little bit less than Jeremy Fragrance's upcoming release, although I'll go ahead and put the link to his Kickstarter in my description. If you are interested, you can go ahead and check it out. So here we go. The first one's an honourable mention, because I don't have the fragrance. This is Acqua di Parma. I've actually got here a bottle of Colonia Assoluta, a very nice citrus aromatic with a little bit of an old school vibe. If you're looking for a much more modern smell, but still with that beautiful Mediterranean style freshness that Acqua di Parma fragrances have, very similar bottle for this one, I would recommend Colonia Pura, a recent release. I think it was 2017. A beautiful citrus aromatic scent, very fresh, citrusy, Mediterranean smelling, but without some of the slightly herbal, ever so slightly stuffy, old-fashioned notes in some of the other Acqua di Parma Colonias. So Pura from Acqua di Parma, a real recommendation for younger people, or people who want to have a fresh, modern smell, but with a little bit of the Mediterranean magic of Acqua di Parma. So on to the next one, which I do have my own bottle of, and this is Dunhill Century, a fantastic bottle design, very interesting kind of paperweight design, and a lovely, fresh, citrusy, soapy kind of fragrance again with this one. Notes bergamot, grapefruit, mandarin orange, neroli, cardamom, olibanum, sandalwood, musks, and cypriol oil. If you like things like Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino, or even 4711 Cologne, but you're looking for something with a little bit more depth and complexity to it, maybe a little bit more woodiness, a tiny bit more masculinity, there's a kind of lovely earthy mineral accord in this one, combined with some fresh soapy notes, and just a very, very beautiful, wearable, clean, fresh, office appropriate, professional kind of smell. And you can get this one for great prices in the UK at the moment. Fantastic choice for the office. So moving on, that was just released last year, 2018. I think this one came out in 2017, and this is one that Jeremy's mentioned favourably. Jean Varvatos Artisan Pure, another freshie, and a beautiful fragrance indeed. I think it was Rodrigo Flores Roux, the perfumer, on that one. And notes in this one, we've got lemon, bergamot, mandarin, clementine, thyme, marjoram, petitgrain, ginger, orris root, woods, amber, and musk. Similar kind of description maybe to the Icon, but they're different in some ways. Definitely a very fresh, citrusy, neroli kind of opening. A little bit more spiciness with this one. I think there's a note of ginger. Some people have complained there's a slightly cumin-esque note that they find a little bit funky. I don't have a problem with that. It's got a beautiful muskiness in the base, a little twist of sweetness with something perhaps just a little bit kind of ISO-y, super-esque sweetness in the base, and a beautiful citrusy opening, lovely fresh kind of clean white shirt feel. Of course, that works for the office. Great summer scent too for summer holiday, but I think it comes across clean, professional, a little bit interesting, reasonable performance, none of these beast mode, but in the office you don't want that. or wherever you happen to be working. So John Varvatos Artisan Pure, another great option if you don't want to spend all the money on Jeremy's one, and a very, very nice work scent. I've also tried to make these a little bit less obvious than the most obvious fragrances in the world that you might wear to work, e.g. Bleu de Chanel or Dolce & Gabbana The One, or maybe Dior Sauvage. Of course, those are quite good options too, but we still want to smell a bit different to everybody else, and that's why I picked some that I think are not mega obvious and not widely worn, but still great modern scents widely available. Last but not least then, a bit of a curveball here. This is L'Envol de Cartier, which comes with a beautiful bottle design, kind of an outer bottle and an inner one. Not very practical to take to work if you want to reapply. Lucky I've got a little travel spray too. This one very different in that it's not really an out-and-out freshie, and it's a 2016 release, Eau de Parfum concentration. Perfumer Mathilde Laurent, and this has officially listed notes of musk, guaiac wood and honey. Most people also are talking about, in the reviews, or many people are, a little bit of violet leaf and lavender. So if you want a really nice musky, sweet honey kind of smell that's very, very delicate and sensuous, a tiny twist of violet leaf that's also in Dior Fahrenheit, but much less aggressive a smell than that, and the ever popular and fairly likable smell of lavender. You just get this very, very sensuous, soft, sophisticated, elegant, slightly sweet honey and musk combination. Doesn't leap off the skin in a big way. It smells really classy, and I think L'Envol de Cartier, this is the Eau de Parfum, there is an Eau de Toilette, but I prefer the EDP, is a really, really good choice. So there are some really good recommendations for me for a modern office or work scent for the urban gentleman out there. However, check out Jeremy's fragrance. I'm interested to smell it. If he wants to send me a sample or free bottle, that would be great. And if anyone wants to make a Mr. Smelly fragrance with me, call me, get in touch. I'm here, I can do it. We can kickstart it, or do any other way that you want to do it. I'm open to that. I would love to have a Mr. Smelly fragrance, and I'm sure many of you might be interested to try and kickstart my bank balance by buying it. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. It's been great to have your company here again. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Mr. Smelly.